know if you can see my face. Right. Can you see my face? How tall? Yeah, you can definitely see my face. Okay. So, I'm starting a channel, and my goal is to make $1 million. But first, before I do that, my goal is like a 2-year, 3-year long kind of thing. So, like in about 2 or 3 years, I'm gonna try to make $1 million. But for now, I'm gonna try to kind of get my life straight first before I make that $1 million. Because of course, like if I try to make $1 million right now, I can't even like focus or do anything. So I'm gonna try to like get my mental health good and everything. So like I'm actually able to like focus, not like mental health like I'm depressed or anything, but like to where I can like focus. Because like it would be hard to make $1 million if I can't focus. It'd be hard to like work hard on a business or whatever else I'm trying to do if I can't like focus or have the motivation to do it. So I'm gonna like also be working on my mental health. So actually I have 4 goals for this $1 million thing. So the big one, $1 million. Underneath that is I also am trying to get good at YouTube so I can actually like make the videos for that. So that's my first goal. My second goal is that I'm also gonna try to improve like my looks. So like I'm gonna go on like a looks maxing journey or like whatever the heck it's called. Because I don't want it just to be like, oh yeah, this is him like 2 years before he had the $1 million, and this is him now with the $1 million, or 3 or 2, how many other years, I don't know. But like I don't want it just to be like, oh, this is him before $1 million, this is him after $1 million. Like, oh yeah, what's the difference? You know, he has $1 million. I mean, that's a pretty big difference. But I want it to be like a visual thing. So you're like, wow, like he's improved a lot. Like, wow, this is what he looked like before, and like now he's looks like this, and he's got $1 million. Which my goal's not just for like, oh wow, he's good looking now and has $1 million and he's cool now, and before he wasn't cool, and like, no, it's my goal for this is to be like an experiment. I just want to see if it's possible. Like I just want to see like, can some normal person like me make like $1 million like that? Also, so I've already mentioned the first kind of like goal for that is like looks max kind of thing. Looks max journey, it sounds real funny, but like I just want to like improve my looks over the time. I've also mentioned mental health. Yeah, that's right. And then I just want to get school and stuff, because it's going to be hard if I'm really busy all the time. So I want to start working on like a schedule. So I have a schedule already, but I haven't even been following it. So I'm going to remake my schedule, and I'm going to try to make my kind of like, not just time, but like my space around me very organized and very clean. And so like have really good time management, which could also go underneath the category of mental health. I guess so. But like I want to have a very good looking and clean environment, so my head is clear all the time. That like, this is not just for like the $1 million, but this is just for my life in general. Like it'd be nice to have a good clean environment and everything, and also a good schedule, because if I don't have a good schedule, it's going to be so much more hard. If I like, oh, but I don't feel like doing it, like I'm not gonna get anywhere. Like I'm just not gonna get anywhere with this. I've mentioned, yeah, school. So school and time, getting on top of my school, making way more way more time with my school, getting on top of it, getting ahead on my school. If I get all my school mostly done, I'll have so much more time for this. So time, I'm just going to call it time. Time management. Yeah, I'm just going to call it time management. Time management, mental health, looks, just because I just want it to be like, it's just gonna be look so much better for people to be more interested in this if I show this as like me before and after, and like not just how much money I make, but how I look, which it's not like I'm gonna be making millions. My goal is just to get $1 million within about 2 or 3 years. And the rules with that is that I have to have the money. So I can't just be like, oh, yeah, I have the money invested in here, or like, oh, I have $1 million business over here. No, I have to own the money. Like, it has to be me who's owning the money. I can't just stop at like, oh, I own this business that's worth $1 million. No, I have to personally have the $1 million. The second rule is there is really no second rule. It's just get the money from anywhere. I can get the money from YouTube. I can get the money from anything. Because, I mean, the only rules are just like me not having the experience at all anyways. So, I mean, it's not like, oh, I would have it any better than, say, someone else. The rules are just so it's like, oh, I don't have it any better than someone else online somewhere. And they're like, oh, but you were blah, 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 or whatever. No, like, if I could do it, you can do it. That's kind of the rules. So I've mentioned looks because, yeah, time management, mental health, and yeah, I mentioned mental health. And then there was actually a fourth one. Actually, it might be 5. I don't know. Oh yeah, and also under the looks would be just being able to like be more confident. Because I mean, that kind of adds to your looks anyways. Like just being more confident. Like just being more confident, being more socially like better with people. Not just because of like the looks part of it, but if I'm better with people, I can go so much further, make so much more, like I can do so much more with like a business side of things if I'm very good with people. But that would just go under the category of like looks, even though it's not really has to do with looks. It would just go under that category. So I mentioned time management. I have it right here. Time management, looks, mental health, and YouTube. So if I could get better with YouTube, that would help so much more, because like I already have a pre-recorded video of me practicing YouTube skills. As you can see, I'm slightly good, but it's gonna be so much hard. It's gonna be so hard if I stay at this like level, and I don't want to just slowly increase. I want to like as quick as I possibly can, because the quicker I am with advancing my skills with YouTube, the better content I can make, the better documentation, I guess, if you could call this documentation, I will have over this. And like this camera setup is not even good at all. The camera's probably crooked. The camera probably can't even see my face right now. I don't know. Also, I also have another video about my inventory, which I'll probably go more into that later. But my inventory is just everything I own. So it'd be like if I ever buy anything, right, it would go in my inventory. And you're like, well, why is this relevant? Like, yeah, everybody has stuff, and why document that? Well, I went minimalist, so I'm halfway in between minimalism, and I'm gonna go full minimalism, and everything I own is going to be focused towards those 4 goals. I have to write them down. I'm gonna have to write them down after this, but time management, getting good at YouTube. I have them right here. That's why I'm looking to the side. Sorry. Time management, YouTube, mental health, and looks. And if I don't have much stuff, I can focus so much more on this. And also with the stuff thing, it just shows like what I have to work with. Like when I am working on like my business stuff, it just kind of shows where I'm at, which I say business. Right now, I'm in an experimental stage, so I'm probably gonna be this for about a month or 2 months. I don't know how long, probably 2 months, 3 months maybe. I'm not even gonna try to make too much money. I'm just gonna try to find a way to get some money, so a very, very small income, just so I can have just a little bit of money, just so I can experiment with that money. And also I'm just gonna be testing around with different business ideas and ways to make money. And maybe after those 2-3 months, I will start trying to work on one business and focus just on one singular business. And the items, I probably mentioned this already before, it's called the inventory. And the reason why it's called the inventory is because I saw that from somewhere, another video, you probably saw it. But I just thought it would be a cool idea. So it's just like, if I ever want to show like all the items I own, like I could go and be like, oh yeah, I added this to my inventory, like, oh it's just kind of like a funny way of saying, like, if I buy anything to help towards the business and I want to document that thing that I bought to help towards the business, I could be like, oh, I added this to the inventory. And also, yeah, I mentioned the 3 months of where I'm just experimenting. What else was I gonna say? There's one more thing, and I already mentioned that I pre-recorded a video on me getting better at YouTube, and I'm gonna continue to get better at YouTube. I remember the one last thing. One last thing before I go is, this channel is not just for this. It might be just for this, like after those 2 to 3 months, after those experimental stage, but I'm also gonna just post random things, just for fun. So, like, if I post something random, don't be like, well, what does this have to do with it? Like, I might try to tie it towards the million or whatever, the 5 goals or 4 goals. I'm gonna have to write that down. But I'm just gonna like post random things as well. Excuse me. Gosh. So I might just post some random funny thing. I don't know, just anything that I just can think of. I might just be like, oh, I want to record that and I want to let somebody else see, just for fun. So yeah, that is all. And yeah. Okay, so I wrote down the list here. I already had the list right here, but it wasn't written down very well. I don't know. Whatever. I'll learn good communication skills or whatever, add that to the list. Whatever. Yeah, so it wasn't written down very well. So I remade it right here, and it's very clear, and I just put looks/health, good charisma/people skills, mental health, time management skills, and YouTube. And I put this all under the category of 1 million because that's like the main goal. The main goal is not the million. The main goal is to see if it's possible to get 1 million from like just a normal person. And yeah. Also, I don't really know how I'm gonna categorize them, but like I'll probably make some sort of like video series for each one, or just like I might randomly post like videos on like my progress on them, or like post a video on like how you can get there too, if like, or just like kind of showing like step by step how I did it, not like how you can get there too, but just kind of like further documented in like how I did it and everything, and you could, if you wanted to, do the same as I did, I guess.